because it has a hole in it that lets air circulate.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Are we going? Oh my god. We're good?
It's been a while since we've done one, just me and you.
Yeah, man.
Back to the old days.
Last time we did a podcast, to be honest.
It's actually been. It's been. See, I can't turn mine off because I gotta wait for the Tiggy guy to call.
Hey, Tiggy. Resign us.
Yeah, hit us back up.
Oh. What's up, buddy?
Let's start.
Hold on a second. Okay, we're good. All right.
George got to get comfy.
What's going on in the world? Let's talk what's going on in the world.
No, let's not talk.
What's going on? Let's see what's going on.
No, let's catch up because we didn't talk this week specifically or purposely so we could do it on this podcast.
Yeah.
So let's hear about Vegas first. Let's hear about Vancouver and Vegas.
Oh.
Because Georgie was recently in Vancouver for a little work trip, and then has smart men turn a work trip into a play trip.
Yeah, baby, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Heck yeah, Gianni.
Vancouver is pretty cool.
Best part about Vancouver. For the short time
it's interesting. I haven't been to Vancouver since I was a kid, and so I haven't been since I was probably 12 something years old. We took a train, the cross Canada train with my family. It was actually a really cool experience. But we didn't spend much time in Vancouver, so I didn't really remember it. This was my first time really, really going. Becca came with me. It was a lot nicer than I remember, and it is very different to Toronto. It kind of feels San Francisco-ish. It's a little bit hilly. Everything kind of goes to the water, I think. Anyone from San Fran might be telling me I'm full of shit. Anyone from Vancouver might think I'm not making sense, but that's what it felt like. The air smells better. That's a fact. Yeah, the air smells different than here. You been to Vancouver? You've been to Vancouver, yeah.
More trees.
Yeah, more trees. It's really nice. And it's interesting because leaving the airport, you don't take really a highway to get to the hotel and to the main downtown Vancouver, I guess, or wherever we were staying. But it was really nice. The roads, but they're kind of boulevards, really nice, lots of trees, cherry blossoms everywhere, a lot of houses, not a lot of buildings going up, which is very different to Toronto. But anyways, it was really nice. The downside is, which I guess I didn't know this, is it's gloomy all year.
Is it?
Most of the year, yeah. It wasn't sunny at all. It was sunny the last day we left. So I was there for 3 days. Got there on a Wednesday, left on a Friday. And it didn't rain until the last or second. It rained on Thursday, but the entire time there was no sun.
Yeah. That's
and
did you hit up Lewis or Coltrane?
Yeah. I didn't call Coltrane. Fuck, man. I didn't hit up Coltrane. I called Lewis.
Did you see him?
Worked out. Yeah, I went to Bears Boot Camp with Lewis.
Oh, beauty.
Yeah, it was good. It's a nice city. I really want to go back.
Did you say downtown or?
Yeah, downtown. We were probably a 10-minute walk from the what's it called? Pacific Rim, Pan Pacific, Pacific Rim. Yeah.
What is that?
The Fairmont Hotel, Pacific Rim.
What's the Pacific Rim?
Danielle, get on the mic. Pull it closer to you.
Stunning hotel.
What's the Pacific Rim?
It's a Fairmont hotel.
Oh, the hotel is called the Pacific Rim?
Fairmont Pacific Rim. It's really tight, but it's a gorgeous one right by the water. But it's really nice.
Danny's got her own mic this episode.
I'm excited.
She's stepping up.
I'm getting nervous though.
We told her to come sit on the couch. She's too nervous to sit on the couch.
No, she's got to book our London trip. That's why.
Yeah.
When you're listening to this, me and Danny are going to be going to London in 2 days. 3 days.
A lot of trips lately. A lot of trips. No, it was good. I saw Lewis. Went for a workout. We were supposed to do more with him, but some things didn't work out, so we didn't. And then, like I said, I was on there for some work. Got some work stuff done. I really enjoyed it. I want to go back because I'd like to go back for a week or more because then you can go up to not Kelowna, up to Tofino, or even go to Victoria Island.
I heard Tofino's sick. It's been popping up a lot on my TikTok lately. Actually. Really? Because now I've been posting a couple of travel things. So I don't know why I know why I get a lot of travel things, but Tofino specifically. You know who actually popped up a couple times? You remember Maya?
Yes.
She posted a couple things from Tofino and it just popped up 10 in a row almost.
Yeah. Lewis got a cabin out there. Originally, I was going to go to Vancouver just to go for a vacationish, whatever, spend a week or so out there because he rented a cabin. So I was going to go a couple days Vancouver, go up there. But obviously, when I saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Dimitri Bivol, I decided that I need to be in Vegas for that fight, which kind of segues into this guy here. The guy's stuck.
Pass that to her.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, guys. We're just going to get our
food order.
Food guy in here. So, yeah, that led me to Vegas and crazy weekend. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, like you said at the beginning, obviously I'm going to take the opportunity to tie in work and pleasure in some capacity. So Vancouver was a business trip, and even Vegas, I had some business, some meetings out there related to work. And yeah, just had the opportunity to
those are the best trips when you can kind of double down on them. You know, a little half work, half play.
Yeah.
So like even when we do Con Expo's next year in Vegas. So if you want to,
is it every other year?
It's every 3 years. So last one was 2020.
I thought it was every year.
No, it's every 3 years. Con Expo.
I didn't know that.
And it's the second biggest construction show in the world, I think.
Yeah, it's
the biggest is called BOMA. I think it's in Germany.
Right. BOMA's an association related to build.
That's the building, thing. Yeah, but it's a different one? Different association or different thing. But yeah, that's the biggest one in Germany. Actually, I think it's in September of this year.
When's the one in Vegas for
March of next year?
Okay,
might do Vegas, Scottsdale.
Okay, I might go to Vegas for. I honestly, after this trip, I think I'm gonna go back quite a bit the next little while. Like I just
once a quarter kind of thing.
Yeah, honestly, possibly. I mean, twice a year, and. So yeah, anyways, to give some context, like I obviously we talk about it a lot. Everyone knows we've gone to Vegas. I probably said it numerous times in the podcast, but I thought about it. I think that was my 8th time in Vegas, which is a lot. But I've also gone because of work. Oh, delivery's here. Yeah, no, we don't need on the pod.
No, I just need the water after.
We I've been. I think it was my 8th time, but I've been. I think at this point like 5 for like fun, pleasure, and then 3 for work because we have. Be careful with that camera there, Danny. We have same as you with Con Expo, we have a cleaning show, whatever. So it's every other year in Vegas. So naturally, it's an easy excuse to go down there. But yeah, I've been 8 times, and the trips have changed a lot from the first time I went. Because obviously, the first time I didn't go was with you. I went with Lewis, Churchy, and Viola when the first time I went down. I was 23 years old the first time I went, and we went down for EDC.
I remember that you had abs.
Yeah, I actually did have abs.
Fact.
Yeah, fact. Peak physical condition, George.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah. Anyways, but like most times after that, when you're like we were young, I was telling this to Becca. When you're young, you're going down with buddies, like weekend trip, partying, and out. You're exhausted. You're going day party, night party, whatever. You know,
chicken fingers.
Yeah, and I think the first, I was saying the first 3 times I think I went, I don't think I saw the strip. I didn't go to like any restaurants. Like we literally just lived in the hotel, like in the overall hotel resort, like not just the room, but you'd go from like the pool parties, you'd come back, you'd like eat in the hotel or in the lobby bar or whatever, and then go to the clubs.
Order chicken room service.
Yeah. It was room service stupid that time we went. But the last 3 times I've gone to Vegas were all for fights. The first fight I went to was Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, and that was a work trip that I just piggybacked it onto the end of it because I was in town for the convention that I go to, and I saw the billboards. I'm like, gotta stay for this, so stay for that fight. And then after that fight, ended up getting an opportunity to go down for the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight with Mike. That was crazy, and that was a fun weekend because like we like flew in on Friday, stayed for like flew in Friday, left Sunday night. We literally did like nice dinner, the fight. We like worked out in the daytime, went to one party, the Loud Luxury was down there, and came home on the red eye, back to work Monday. Perfect because like you get in and you get out. You're not hungover on the next day at work. You're not you didn't break the bank doing anything. So that was amazing. So now to fast forward to this one, when I saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Dimitri Bivol, I'm a big boxing. You know this from some people. I'm a big boxing fan. It's like my first time talking on the podcast. All of a sudden, big boxing fan. So I'm like talking as if I'm not talking to you. It's really weird. I feel like I'm talking to the mic when I'm talking to you.
It's okay.
This is weird. I feel like I'm like, yeah.
I guessed.
Weird.
Because you're in the hot seat.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this spot.
It's okay.
It feels kind of weird. Anyways, I'm telling you, what the fuck am I telling you this? Anyways, yeah. Sorry, this just threw me off. Yeah. I just realized that I was just like talking as if like you don't know the times
And the best part about this is George hates like these like when people talk, not when people, but when we talk to like the audience.
Yeah.
George is like, no, like we need to talk as if like we're best friends and like our guests are all friends. It's not about the audience, it's about us. And you're talking, I'm like, I don't mind it. I actually don't mind when we talk to the audience, but I think it's so funny when you do.
Yeah. I didn't realize it. And I think being maybe in this seat psychologically threw me off. I'm even like looking at the wall. I'm like distracted and trying to tell a story.
Okay, Canelo.
What's the other dude's name? Canelo and Dimitri Bivol.
What'd you say?
He got really, really red there.
Yeah, George is blushing.
I'm a little bit shy. So yeah, I tied in the work trip. Went to Dimitri Bivol and Canelo. I've like wanted to see Canelo for a long time. He's been like the number 1 pound for pound fighter, and I thought about it, and this fight wasn't like. It wasn't like some crazy fight where it's like
him versus Mayweather or something.
Exactly. Where like tickets were going to be $10,000 to get in the building. So when I saw that and I saw the price of the tickets, I was like, okay, tie this into work, whatever. Crazy fight, like crazy. It's Cinco de Mayo, so like being in there, I haven't told you anything about it, have I?
No, we purposely didn't talk about it.
Yeah, so Cinco de Mayo is notoriously a fight weekend where Vegas typically puts Mexican fighters in. And there's been some historic fights. Like I think Mayweather fought like what's his name? Oscar De La Hoya, like back in the day, like some crazy fights on Cinco de Mayo. So anyways, when I saw this, I'm like, cool, this is a sick fight because it's Canelo Alvarez. He's going up in weight class to fight for a title. So he went up to light heavyweight to fight Dimitri Bivol,
he's relatively small though, right?
Yeah, he's probably like pretty like not short. He's probably like 5'9", 10", whatever. But he's like progressed in his career. He's gotten a lot bigger. He's moved up weight classes. But he went up to take this fight. It's on Cinco de Mayo. It's for a title. It's at T-Mobile Arena. All those things. And the tickets are reasonable. I mean, they're a little expensive, but reasonable, relatively speaking. Yeah. So I was like, gotta go see it. And yeah, it was pretty morbid in there. You know what happened. If anyone doesn't, Canelo Alvarez lost. It was an upset based on the fact that like the books had it plus 400 for Dimitri Bivol. But if you think about it now in hindsight, everyone's saying, well, it shouldn't be an upset because like
went up weight class.
You're a big weight class, and he fought a guy who's much bigger.
Yeah. You see the highlights too. Bivol just kind of like he definitely won. It's not like it was like debatable.
Well, and the hard thing is, so we had good seats. We had really good seats. I knew, like I want to sit lower bowl. You're gonna see a fight, like even sitting lower bowl, you want to be in the lower half of the lower bowl because if you're higher than that, you're gonna watch on the big screen because you can't see much. We were like borderline, so we're in the corner, and I purposely bought the corner seats because it's where the ring walk happens, where they come out of the tunnel, and I knew that from Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Me and Mike had similar seats in that corner, different arenas, but same sort of setup. So I knew that I want to be out there because you see the show in front of you and everything. Well, I didn't know this, but we were in the first row. That was like the first row of seats behind where his stage is going to be. So like we're on TV. We're standing up, and he had a mariachi band play Eye of the Tiger. Very fitting. Eye of the Tiger in front of us, all these lights and everything, and there was nobody in front of us. And then Canelo comes on a stage. So it was like we were in a section. It was hype. It was crazy. Honestly, 95% probably at least Canelo fans. I don't want to say Mexican fans, but that's what it sounded like in there. Like it was nuts. And Dimitri Bivol being Russian, like people weren't so fond of
obviously.
Fair enough. They didn't even announce he's from Russia, which is crazy. I was just listening to a podcast on the way here. They wouldn't allow them to say he's from Russia, that he trains in Russia, nothing. His family who lives in Russia wasn't allowed to come watch the fight.
Holy crap.
I don't know if it wasn't allowed, but they didn't. It was crazy. But not to go down the politics side, I don't know enough about it. We were like close enough to see most of it, but not enough to see like really what's happening on the scorecards. And it started, and it looked like Canelo like was coming out, and usually he like slow plays his fights. Like he waits guys out, beats them with conditioning. But yeah, he got pretty worked over. Like from the get-go, I haven't rewatched it yet, but like the guy next to me, so he was a very friendly guy from San Diego, I think he said, but originally from Mexico, or maybe it was from Monterrey. Anyways, I said, who you got? He goes, Canelo. He goes, you better win or I'm going to lose a lot of money. I said, how much money? I think he put like 4,000 US on him. And because he was plus 400, you have to bet 4,000 just to win 1,000.
Yeah.
Which is
nuts.
Awful. Which is the only reason why I bet on Bivol, because I'm like, I'll bet this to win whatever. So anyways, overall, crazy experience. Like, it's one of all sporting events still, I think, to go to a boxing match in Vegas is still one of the best things.
So you said, and that must be cool, I would agree, but you said you want to kind of go back once or twice a year every year.
Yeah.
It leads me to my question, because I was thinking about this the other day. Let's say standard, you have 3 weeks vacation a year.
Okay.
What would you spend, and how would you spend those three weeks? You have 15 days, technically. How would you spend it? Because we always talk about, like, we always say, okay, we want to do Miami or Florida. You don't want to do that. Okay, we always do Europe. How would you spend your 15 days?
If I only had 15 days?
Yeah.
And everything's the same. Like, well, I have a job that's restricted. There's no flexibility.
You maybe get like semi flexibility.
The reason I'm asking is because like most companies now shut down at Christmas time. So
yeah, okay, so yeah, Christmas is still shut down.
So
yeah,
between Christmas and New Year's, a shutdown.
We'll keep that. Yeah,
okay.
I agree with that.
So
a lot of companies do make you take those as mandatory vacation days.
Yeah, or they say like stay in town, whatever.
Yeah.
So I would probably do, honestly, like leave Christmas night and then do a weekend of New Year's. because then coming back after New Year's not
Where
as bad.
would you go?
Oh, for that, if I'm doing 2 weeks there.
Yeah, let's just say 2024 hypothetically.
Okay, 2024. If I was doing 2 weeks, then I would probably go to Southeast Asia. I really want to go back.
But
to
then you're
Thailand.
taking a week off though, because you only get Christmas to New Year's is 1 week.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So I take that. That's a free week.
Yeah, so you're gonna take.
So
the next week.
I add additional days
Okay, so
because New Year's is a
5 days.
holiday,
Yeah,
so
so
5 days
or 4 days.
So
let's say 5
in
days.
theory, you're technically in 2 weeks.
You're 2 weeks, but you've only used 1 week.
So I'd probably do like Thailand.
So now
like
we're
that.
early January.
Are you asking as well, like, what if I go on trips to like Vegas on a long weekend?
That's right. Because some of our listeners know we travel a lot, right? And they might think, okay, well, what's your ideal situation if you got 3 weeks? Me and you are a little different. We work for family businesses. You can turn a work trip into a play trip and reverse, right? Yeah. So, and there's always, we get maybe a little bit more than 3 weeks, or we get the half day here, the half day there. Yeah. So, what would you do? What's your ideal?
So, to make it easy, I would do the 2 weeks. I'd do like Southeast Asia, something like that. I'd probably go away in like April on my birthday, maybe add a day, but probably not. Leave like a Thursday night, come back on the Monday holiday or the Sunday night.
So you're taking 1 day off there?
Probably not even. I'd probably do like Easter weekend.
Okay.
I'd probably save 2 weeks for Labor. How many days left? 10 days left. I'd probably take 7 days around Labor Day. So make it like leave on like a Thursday night, take a Friday. So take 1 day there, 5 days plus like Labor Day plus the extra. So that's like 2.5 weeks. I don't know.
So you've got 4 days left now?
I'd probably do something like Thanksgiving weekend, make it a week, and do somewhere for a week. And that makes like another 7 to 10 day trip, whatever. No.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you leave Thursday night, take the Friday off, the Monday's off, 4 days in there.
Most people only get Monday off.
Most people get Monday off?
Yeah, you wouldn't get Friday off.
Right, so I take the Friday as one of my days. I have 5 days left. 1 day there, 4 days in the week. That gives me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 11 days. That's, yeah. And then nothing again. I do the same thing again. Christmas, go away.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and also like you can also do easy trips, like go to New York for like leave on a Friday, come back on a Sunday. I've done that for Vegas.
Yeah,
and that's a 4-hour flight with the time.
So the reason why I asked, because one of my goals.
And before I forget, I want to ask you next.
One of my goals was this year was to leave the province once a month, right? That was one of my goals, and I kind of missed March, but I still hit it in April because I went away to Houston or New Orleans for Final Four. It was April 3rd or something, so I'm still good. But I just realized that what I've been doing this year, and I'm on pace, I'll hit, depending on how Europe plays out, I'll probably be just over 3 weeks. But I've been doing either just banking on the long weekends or just taking that 1 day off. And it's like, that's what I think I'm going to do for the rest of my life, is take one trip a month, then do a big one at the end of summer in Europe, or I'll do one big trip a year where it lines up on that holiday as well. So maybe it's Easter, go away somewhere for 2 weeks, or the 11 days, whatever, or end of summer do Europe, or I don't know, maybe Hawaii or something. But same thing, Florida for Christmas. I'll probably do that almost every year for the rest of my life. I think I love that. Then
you guys making some long-term predictions here.
Yeah, I love Florida. So then I do Florida again, Family Day weekend, every freaking year for the rest of my life, probably, hopefully. So that would be, I'll take the 1 day there, so I should make it a nice 4 day trip. March, just do Friday after work till Sunday night. Do 48 hours in Florida, or 60 hours in Florida, whatever you want to call it. April, you have the long weekend, your birthday. So if you're not going away for your birthday, I'll take my own little trip, maybe use a day there. So I'm at 2 days so far used. May, you have the long weekend. Double down on that.
Okay, let's instead of going on the calendar, just assume long weekends are going away.
Every long
How
weekend,
else would you use the days?
Every long weekend, I just want to go away, and then you have that one big trip.
Yeah.
And then you have your Florida Christmas, or like somewhere warm for Christmas. But next year, every month, especially in the winter, maybe even twice a month, I might just like dip to somewhere warm just so I can sit on a beach for 2 days. Because when I went, when did I go? 3 weeks ago now? A month ago? Easter I went, yeah. So 3 weeks ago. I didn't do much. I laid by the pool, I worked out, and I shopped, and I ate healthy, and I loved that trip. And it's like, you know what? People are like, how can you fly for 3 days? Isn't that crazy? It's like, it's not bad. Like, you use points. I think I paid 22,000 points.
Yep. Not everyone has the amount of points as you. The same amount of points as you have.
But time out. If you don't
Great segue into points. Let's talk
if
about
you
it.
don't have the same amount of points as me, that's because you're not doing the proper credit card fucking things that you need to do.
A lot of people don't have your type of expenses.
A lot of people
on your
have
Visa card. Many people the regular person isn't putting on their Visa card.
But you're right, but it doesn't at the same time as the bonuses are the bonuses. We maybe accumulate more, but for instance, like you for instance don't spend as much, but if you strategically like sign up for new credit cards, you can rack up points very, very easily.
A lot of people still use their debit cards. I know so many people that are still using debit cards.
I know that have cashback cards.
If you are a grown up,
I started using points at an earlier age. But a lot of people don't want to start at an early age because they don't want to rack up the amount of fees that you're also paying against the credit cards because you're not making the same amount.
The fees are so nominal in the big picture.
Like if I'm looking at, we have like a 5-year age gap between us.
Yeah.
That is a big difference when it comes to income.
100%.
And like different, like the way you're growing up and like in life.
So
you start back at a certain point in life. You want to start and using the points. If I had a credit card earlier, may have been more beneficial. I would have started racking up points more.
100%.
But again, I can't have 5 different credit cards, maybe like you guys have, because
you can.
But again, how are you going to pay it all off? What
you're going to rack up? Time out.
You're going to keep paying it, then you're going to be in debt.
Danielle,
there's a certain mentality.
Guys, I'm just going to pause. We're making a lot of assumptions here. Like I can explain how you can do this very easily.
There is a way, but a lot of people aren't able to because
they are.
But like. Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's correct. Because I'll give you an example. Too. I'll tell you right now, if you're Canadian, now I'm talking to the fans. if you're Canadian,
this is for the audience.
If you're Canadian, go to the website princeoftravel.com. I think Prince of Travel is like a travel blog, let's call it.
Yeah.
Similar to the Points Guy, which is an American platform, and it's probably the biggest website regarding travel, points, credit cards, trip reviews, whatever. If you're Canadian, go to Prince of Travel, click on credit cards, and you can literally sift through what you want, what your goals are, who your bank is, what your expenditures are, and so forth, where you spend most of your money. So Danielle, to your point, I'll give you an example. So we use Becca as an example. Recently, she's got. She said, "I don't want to sign. Like I can't sign up like you sign up." I'm like, "That's fair. Like I have different expenditures, and I can I put different.
You put some business stuff.
For sure.
We have side things. Yeah, 100%. So we're different than most people. That's fair.
And that's fair. And Becca's got her thing going on. She goes, "I have a few expenses this month. What should I do?" And I said, "Look, if you don't want to spend the money, like it doesn't make sense to do it. You don't spend money just to get points. No. That's rule number 1. Don't spend more than you need to. You only get the credit cards you need that will align with what you're about to spend in the coming months. So you be strategic. But so many credit cards. I think
actually rule number 1 should be make sure you're like a responsible adult and you pay your credit cards.
That's what I'm saying. Rule number 1. Many people can't even pay their basic 1 credit card a month.
I understand, but that's okay. Again, if you are irresponsible with your credit, and you have poor credit history, and like you just can't maintain credit, like you should not do what we're talking about. And I'm not condoning it, and that's a good point. Like, just that everyone needs to make their own decision on what's best for them. But what I'm saying is, saying I don't spend as much like as us and you can't, like it's not as easy to do it, that's where I disagree with. In fact, if somebody was diligent about signing up as often as you're allowed to, they could probably accumulate not as much, but I would say about 70%. Because I don't sign up as
cards?
Pardon me.
You're switching cards.
There's numerous. But what I'm saying is there's so many credit cards there's numerous credit cards on a regular basis in Canada that probably have a fee or a nominal fee, and oftentimes they waive the fee for first time signups. So I'll use CIBC for example. Just signed up for the CIBC airplane card. $120 fee, waive for the first year. Spend $1,000 in the first 3 months, and you get 30,000 airplane points and a buddy pass. So to put that in perspective, $1,000 is $333 a month. Mm-hmm. I would venture to guess, even if you make minimum wage, you probably spend close to that on food and basic living expense. So even a minimum wage, you're going to spend how much? Even buying ramen, ramen's $1. You buy a couple of things of $2, whatever, with inflation. You're buying ramen for the year, and that's all you're eating the whole year, twice a day. You'll hit the minimum spend. So you don't have a fee. And you just earned 30,000 points, which is basically a round trip flight to New York City, and a buddy pass, which means you're getting your friend on a flight.
Buddy, you fly round trip to New York for like
actually, sorry, you're right. You're right. 7,000. They have
Florida,
7,000.
You go 25,000.
You're right. Because I remember we booked a New York flight like 7,000 points.
Yeah,
on a late
stupid
one.
Easy.
So think about that. 7,000. That's almost 5 flights to New York City. So let's say 2 round trip flights. So that's 2 vacations there for a weekend that you spent no money on. You'll pay the taxes, which are $50, $30, whatever. And you get a buddy pass, so you can bring your significant other. You can bring your friend.
With your other cards?
So that's one card. Now that's you have one card now that just got you 2 vacations, right? That card naturally you'll spend on it, accumulate till you get your next card. 3 months later, when your credit history goes back up, you find the next card. And if you don't have the luxury of paying the fees, taking the higher, let's say better cards with the higher bonuses, you go and look, okay, what's another card I can get for no fee?
No, so
Or very small fee.
what
Or very
you're
small
basically
fee.
saying is that you're using the card, getting that bonus points, and then switching over to another card.
Not immediately, no.
No, but once you've hit that.
Well, you
time.
can't do it immediately. You have to wait.
You have to wait a
If you
certain
don't
amount
wait
of
like
time.
8 to 12 months, 8 to 11 months, it'll affect your credit history. But if you sign up, and then by month 11, right before the fee renews, just call the bank and do one of two things. If they have another free card with no fee, say, hey, I want to do a product switch because I don't want to pay this fee. I don't need this card anymore. Either that or I'll cancel it. They'll say, no problem, Mr. X. Transfer you to the next card. You now get the opportunity to earn that bonus for the same amount, no
And it doesn't
fee.
fuck your
Doesn't
credit.
hurt your credit history because the same bank won't pull your credit score again because you have credit history with them. It just flips the product. It's what I just did because I had a credit card with RBC that pays high fees and I didn't have a use for it. So I said, hey, switch me to this card. And they did. And there's no fee on it. I have a high minimum spend on it, but there's no fee on it. So that just not only made me not pay that fee on the last card, I now got new bonus points with another card for hitting the same spend because I knew I was going to spend some money this time.
Yeah. And
So anyways, I think...
yeah, and
I think where you're like kind of disconnecting before is that you're switching cards.
But you don't have to.
You don't have to. But I'm saying like the average person wouldn't have 6 to 10.
yeah, you don't need 6. You need
No,
but why
3
not have
Visa
3,
cards.
right?
But you can get 3 or 4.
No, you can.
You
but
3, and then every year you cycle out maybe 1.
Yeah.
Right, and you keep
Okay.
hitting those things.
Yeah.
So let's use like now, and this is a big plug for Amex Cobalt cards. Most young people, I think it's a fair assumption to say that most young males at least spend money on kind of food and beverage. Women might be a lot of food and beverage as well, but maybe also makeup, clothes, online shopping, whatever. That's a generalization. It's an assumption. I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't know. Everyone's biggest expense should be either rent or mortgage. That's usually if you're not living at home, that's one of your biggest expenses. That you can't put on your credit card. That's whatever done through your bank. We get that. The next thing a lot of times might be your food and beverage, or
probably.
Yeah, you just think about it. That's one thing you literally need. You need food and water to survive.
Even if you pay hydro utilities or some hydro utilities you can pay now on credit card.
So just on those basic things, the Amex Cobalt is 5 times the points. Let's say you spend, which is a modest number, let's call it $300 on food and beverage. Again, like we said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1,500 points each month times 12. That gives you what, 16,000, Danielle?
Mm-hmm.
Plus you hit your bonus. You hit your
$2,500 a month in bonus.
yeah, there you go. So you're going to end up with a total of, I think the bonus gets you up to 50,000. There's 50,000 for the 12 months. So what's that?
Is that 20? I thought it was $2,500 a month. I'm terrible at math right
Maybe
now.
it's around 4, maybe 45. Whatever, regardless.
No, 30,000 points right now.
So 30,000. So
yeah.
you can hit that. So in 1 year of just not doing anything special, you're going to spend $100.
Or no, 50,000. Sorry.
Yeah. It's 100 and it'll cost you $140 on the month, I think, for the Amex Cobalt.
No.
On the year, a year.
No, it's $9.
$9
oh, sorry.
a month.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
give
Sorry,
or, whatever,
sorry.
give or take. Let's
I'm
call it
terrible at
100
math
something
right now.
bucks. You can accumulate enough points to fly to Europe, which is $1,000 worth of value for literally doing nothing. Just by having the card.
So put that into perspective. You sign up for that. Let's say you sign up for the Amex Cobalt in January. Oh, let's say you sign up for it in August. No, let's say January.
Let's say right now.
So you sign up okay. You're right. Let's sign up right now for the Amex Cobalt card, and you're hitting your minimum spend every single month of 12 months. By this time next year, you have how many? You said
You have 60,000 points.
60,000
That's
membership
your
rewards
Europe
points. Membership rewards points can be transferred 1-to-1 to Aeroplan. Don't book on membership rewards. I do not recommend that. I recommend transferring. Well, if you use Aeroplan,
Yeah, unless it's one of those
programs.
shit airlines.
Yeah. And then if you had the no fee card with Aeroplan, you would also have another, what do we say, 30,000 plus the Buddy Pass, plus your spend on things. So let's call it 35,000 plus a Buddy Pass. Buddy Pass only works within North America, but that's 80,000 Aeroplan points. If you book your trip to, let's say, Europe early enough, you can probably get
50,000.
probably
round trip.
50,000. You're going to probably have a connection, but it doesn't matter. Like, you're not being picky. You want to get to Europe. You could probably get your flight to Europe and back. Plus, you're going to be spending, if you're looking to vacation, and we use the example of minimum wage. Let's say that someone is making relatively...
Let's say 60K.
Whatever. You're going to spend money in Europe, so you're going to put the money on a card. So through your daily living expenses, you're probably earning more as well. So you can afford a flight to Europe, plus, let's say, 2 flights to North America. One of those flights will get a Buddy Pass. So right there, from 2 credit cards, you can get close to 3 vacations in a year. So what I'm saying is, when your point is most people you said wouldn't be able to do this or have this many cards, What I'm saying is, number one, you don't need that many cards, but number two is you also can get that many cards because if you're someone that doesn't make a lot of money, I'd venture to guess right now there's probably, I can name 4 cards right now that have no fee or they have a rebate. The two Alaska MasterCards, the Platinum Plus and the World Elite, Aeroplan CIBC, and there's probably one at TD. I'd venture to guess giving a rebate. So that's 4 credit cards, and if you sign up, let's say I do like 3-4 months because your credit score takes a hit for a couple months, goes back. But let's say you sign up every 4 months, you don't affect your credit score. That means you can sign up for 3 in a year, but in fact, you can actually sign up for 2 per 4 months. So you could double that. Some people don't have the credit history. Like I pay a mortgage and I have a long credit history, so it benefits me in that regard. My credit doesn't get that impacted. And I sign up with companies that I already have credit history with. Yep. But even if you don't, you're starting from scratch and you have good credit history, you're a responsible adult, you pay your bills on time, and you're like,
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and you're making, like, you're doing regular shopping for food and then necessities and some clothing every now and then. And you're going to dinner now and then. You can be traveling for free a couple times a year.
Easy. Another
That's
big
any
thing,
human being.
Yeah. Another big thing is
like
Now,
the caveats that I put
question.
in.
Yeah.
Why did you make me sign up for the gold card and not the cobalt card?
Because at the time, the gold offer that I sent to you, how many points was the offer?
60,000
I
or
think it's
80,000.
60,000. Then after a year, it's an extra.
Yeah, so when I sent it to you, the offer that you
And it's only
got,
$250.
the offer you got was higher than what it normally is. So I thought about it because your fees are what, 129, I think?
No, gold is 250, I think.
No, but you
I
get a
think
travel credit back.
Oh,
$100
you
bucks.
got,
Yeah.
you got travel credit.
Yeah.
So,
$100
so let's take your gold card for example. You got it's $250 fee, but you get $100 travel credit. So I mean, once you book travel, you call them, they put it against it. So you're paying $150 net
You're
fee.
gonna do that for me?
I'll help you with that. You're getting 60-something thousand points, but the minimum spend is like was 3,000. 3,000
in 6
1,000?
months or something.
3,000.
It's like for the bonus points.
Yeah.
3,000.
3,000 over 3 months.
Over 3 months. Yeah.
Right. So you spend 1,000 a month. That's
He
on the
also
higher
rakes
side. Let's
in the
say.
money though.
Yeah, that's on the higher side.
I
Let's say.
finessed my parents to get that within the first 2 weeks, so I didn't panic.
So it's on the higher side, but you got 60,000 points. So that theoretically, if you plan ahead now from, let's say, by September of this year, you book a year out to go to Europe, you can probably get a round trip flight to Europe with that.
We just did a round trip to Europe for 68, 66.
And you booked it, how
2 weeks in advance.
2 weeks
2 weeks
out.
in advance, we got 66,000 round trip.
So think
Direct.
about that.
Direct.
2 weeks out. I know on May 2-4 weekend.
And
And on May 2 for a week.
That's
good.
Really?
That's value, actually. You guys got value.
Value.
Because if you actually looked at like
It was
the actual
$230 in
price
taxes,
of
though.
the actual trip, it was going for $1,400. Our flights.
Okay, there you go. So think about, so now for context, so everyone understands, and this is why I gave you that card. But before I finish the point, to back up. So the flight would have cost you $1,400.
Yeah.
Instead, you sign up for a credit card. You spent, let's call it $150 net fee, so $150. Plus, you spent that $3,000. But like I said, if you remember back at the beginning, you should only get a credit card when you know you can anticipate the spend is going to come. So you were going to spend that money anyways. Why not put it on a new credit card and get the bonus? So you can't even say you spent that $3,000. You would have spent it on any card.
Yeah.
So for $150 plus the taxes, you just flew to Europe round trip. So this is what I'm saying, and I'm not saying it as a criticism to people. Most people just don't know.
Most people don't know. That's the
We
thing.
didn't. I found out about it because I took a year off to travel, and
Until
I found
you
out.
guys, I had no clue. And then I
My
also
pa-
found this guy on TikTok.
My parents didn't know. I have aunts and uncles and cousins that don't know. Most people, I would venture to guess, that if I had to guess at like which credit card is probably offered the most by banks, it's like a cashback card or like a whatever card, because that's the first card you get, and no one really thinks like, okay, whatever, I spend, not a big
I
deal.
had my like student visa for the longest time, and I didn't care because I was there. It was doing what I needed to do, but I wasn't thinking ahead.
Right.
So I was sitting with the stupid card, which I still have. It just sits there now.
Yeah,
when I
but
can't
that's
use my
not fine.
Amex.
It can just sit
But again,
there.
why not switch that card now to the Aeroplan card for
Exactly.
CIBC?
So
'Cause
one-
I can switch that no problem.
one-
They've already approved me for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
As a
One-
switch, and then I can be making the points now.
Exactly. One
and
big.
if they waive my fee.
Yeah.
and
they will.
and there's a
will.
good chance they will.
So one big thing that people don't
Oh,
realize
they
is
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
one
sure
big
they
thing
will.
is people don't. What they don't do is they don't.
CIBC?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
will.
CIBC will waive the fee.
They will. What people need to do is you need to find out what you actually spend your money on and what you want to get out of your points.
Yeah.
You know, let's say you don't care to travel. Okay, so don't do a one that gives you good travel benefits. Do one that has higher cash back or higher something or
Absolutely.
something else that helps you. If you have a big purchase coming up, let's say you're moving into a condo and you need to furnish your condo, sign up for a new credit card.
Oh,
Right.
oh, if big
If you,
time. big
every time you have a big expense in your life, and I'm talking, like something that is going to hit you, make sure you sign up for a new credit card and take full advantage of all the benefits that you are going to get from that credit card.
But again, you're right. Just the caveat again is like, check your credit history before you sign up.
And
right?
I'm not saying, okay, every month you have a big thing. If you have a big spend every month, then it's technically not a big spend anymore. You know, like.
But then find a credit card that maybe you pay a higher fee, but has a higher bonus. Because as an example, if you really want to like move up and you're someone that makes good income and you have big expenditures, let's say you bought a new place or you're renting a new place, and like Ricky said, you're buying furniture, go get the Amex Platinum card. Sure, you're going to pay a $400 fee towards it, but you get 200. No, but is it
200?
$499, right? Plus 200 back.
No, it's $699.
$699, 200 back. That's a lot. And most people are like, why would I give someone like that fee? I haven't signed up for it. I was going to recently, but I didn't. But up until like last week, the Amex Platinum card gave you 110,000 point bonus.
$6,000 in the first 6 months.
Something like that. So yeah, that's a lot of money to pay. So $700 for a fee is a lot to pay. Again, you get $200 back, so it's really $499, let's say. But 110,000 points. If a flight to New York is 7,000 one way, so 14,000, that is almost 10 round trip flights to New York City.
I'll give
Give or
another.
take.
Yeah, I'll give another reason why too. If you're traveling, if you like to travel, again, the 700 sounds like a lot. Okay, you get $200 in travel credit, so that you can knock that off right away. So you're technically paying $500. What it does also get you is Priority Pass, and it gets you into the lounge at Pearson Terminal 1. Well, if you're traveling,
either terminal.
Terminal 3's lounge is closed.
Oh.
Yeah, so Terminal 1, it gets you into. So if you're traveling if you're traveling once a month, the average person, I would guess, probably spends $20 to $30 on a meal at the airport.
And if you travel less, you probably get excited, so you probably
you're
go
probably
drink,
there, so you're
whatever.
drinking. So the lounge is also free drinks and free food. Is the food amazing? No, but the drinks are drinks. Drinks are standard.
Yeah.
So you get that access into the lounge, free Wi-Fi, free this, free that. So it is good. Plus, if you are from Toronto, the biggest thing right now, it's a nice segue into my trip into Scottsdale, is Amex gets you line bypass at the airport. The Pearson line was, I kid you not, 500 meters long. Legit 500 meters long. The boys are all stressing. Our flight was at 8:50. Some guys got there at 5:30. We're in line for an hour already. I roll up at 6, go to the Amex counter. I said, hey,
it's called Cloud9.
Cloud9, yeah. So I'm like, hey, I got me 6 friends. He's like, all right, take 6 passes.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, there's actually 8 of us, 9 of us. So I kept getting more passes. I text the group chat, boys, come to the front of the line. I got line by pass.
But
people thought it was a joke, and I literally got all 10 of us line by pass. We walked right through the literally hour and a half long line right to the front of security.
Yeah, but usually you're only allowed to bring 2 people with you. That was an exception.
So
because I know my family.
because Ricky's charming, that's why.
Everybody needs to make sure they got their own fucking damn Amex then.
Because my family's had that problem in the past.
Yeah.
Where like my parents both had a card, but then we had an extra one.
Yeah.
So then you gotta
Yeah.
get in.
Because man, it's huge.
I want to. That's actually, you're right. It's a good segue to your trip because I heard you had a good time out there. But one thing I want to say, actually, not really important. I think everyone gets the point.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, sorry, the last point. So me and Ricky differ in how we use our points, right?
Yep.
And most people do. Like you said, everyone uses points different things.
Yeah, John's
me
like
and
you,
your brother are the
yeah.
same. So why I like to collect points is, sure, do I use them sometimes for regular flights? Absolutely. But if I'm spending money, I'm looking for the best value. And what I mean by value is the biggest differential in what the trip cost me if I would have paid for it and what I would have racked up the points. So the last 2 summers, I flew round trip to Europe in business class. I think I would average either year about 100,000 points. I flew myself and my girlfriend, so it's called 200,000. Like that is a lot of points objectively, but to put in perspective, those flights each round trip are approximately like $5,000 to $7,000. So over my years, again, I've been doing this for a long time. All the points I have banked, I basically had about $20,000 in flights that I paid $70 in taxes each way per person, so $140. But sure, again, people are saying, well, I wouldn't use my points for that. That's fine. You use it for whatever you want to do. But for me, if I can fly business class essentially for the price of on the house, that to me is a no-brainer. I won't pay for that. I don't have the money to spend. I'm not spending $5,000 on a flight. That's crazy to me. I'm not that high maintenance. I can fly. I just flew back from Vegas. I picked the last row of the plane. Like literally, I'm like, let me sit in the back. No one bothered me. I don't need to be off first. Like back of the plane. I'm perfectly comfortable doing that. But if I have the opportunity to get a steal of a flight, fly business class or first class somewhere, that is a no-brainer. Anyways, enough about points. If anybody wants to find out more, this is actually a good little segment. We always said we're going to talk about points. We never have. It's a good little segment there.
Well, this is a travel episode, right?
Yeah, we really are talking
on
about
our travel stuff.
I feel less weird too when Danielle talks. It's weird. my dynamic feels like it changed since the third person started talking.
Yeah.
I'm not as nervous. Anyways,
yeah.
But yeah, if anyone wants to find out more about it, like people have actually been reaching out to both of us, I think, a lot lately.
Hit us up.
If you want to find out how to get into the points game and you want to travel for free, because travel is coming back hot.
And the goal should be, if you enjoy traveling, if you go on a handful of trips a year, either maybe even 2 or 3, something like most normal people do, make sure you have your right cards and just know what you're spending money on, and make sure that you're absolutely maximizing like what you're spending your money on, and maximizing the cards that you have.
Yeah, like get value out of your dollar. Yeah. You're spending your money. Why not get something in return? Yeah. Like the banks are taking, or the credit card company's taking 19% if you miss a payment. All these things, they don't give you many perks with all these things. Why not take advantage of it? You're spending your hard-earned money. Like, get something out of it.
Agreed.
It's plain and simple. But anyways, my pal, we talked a little bit about Vegas. We talked about wanting to go quarterly.
Yeah,
you're a big Scottsdale guy. You were just on Scottsdale, bachelor party, having a good time. Tell me about your trip.
Yeah, trip. So it started off good. Again, we got like everybody's in the group, and we're all talking. How we're like, hey, everyone's got to get there 3 hours early, 3.5 hours early, because the night before there was like a special on Global where like interviewed the people from Pearson about how the lines are so bad. So everyone's freaking out. My mom's like, you got to be there at like 5 a.m. And like, I just had that debacle where I missed my flight a month and a half ago. So like, even me, I'm a little worried too, right? So I'm like, I'm going to get there at 6 o'clock. Flight's at 8:45. I'm going to be there for 6. So I get there for 6. I see the Amex guy right away. I was like, I need to find him. I see him just tucked away in the corner. I go see him, get passes for everybody. We all walk right to the front of the line. We get in, so we're all like hyped up. I met a chick, amazing, cool.
Is that you met like?
Yeah, I'll tell that after the Scottsdale.
Okay.
Keep people around till the end of the episode.
Man's got a new little love interest.
Yeah,
Okay.
But so we all got line by pass. So we're all fired up, right? Like we all thought we were gonna be in line for 2 hours. We ended up in line for literally 25 minutes max, maybe 30 minutes between security and customs.
Oh, wow.
So we're all grooving. We get to the bar. We sit down. We're having drinks. We're all hanging out.
This is at like 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Fired up.
We're having a couple of mimosas.
Yeah.
A couple of boys are having some Caesars. I'm like, no, mimosas, bro. So whatever. We chill. Get on the plane. Like, we're all scattered throughout the plane. I slept the majority of the way. We get there. We golfed. Like, just, if you don't know Scottsdale, big golf area, obviously.
Where'd you guys play the first day?
It's called Gold Canyon.
Was it good?
It was right on the edge of like a canyon, and it was just sick.
I don't know why Danielle made that.
Yeah, we flew over the Rockies. That was really cool. I don't remember seeing that the past 2 times I went to Scottsdale. Okay. So you can see like the white tips and everything. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so we ended up going golfing the first day. That was awesome. That night, I forget what we did for dinner. We went to this nice steakhouse called Ocean 44. Actually, that's what we did. We had a nice private room.
We drove by that one last time.
Maybe it's right beside one of the other places we went to. Yeah.
You know
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So, can't tell on the pod. So,
we just segue. You don't have to say you can't say on the
pod.
Yeah, just keep the conversation going. So, this guy calls every thing out we can't do or can't do.
So, we go there for dinner, have an amazing dinner. Then we go to Bottle Blonde that night. We have a good time there, right? Then
was it packed?
Yeah, it was slammed. Not like super slammed, but it was Cinco de Mayo, so it was obviously busy. True. So we go there, we got a table inside. Kind of a little bit of a debacle with the table, but whatever. That's just boys being boys. Then next day we went ATVing through the desert. I've never done that before. That's a must. I think I'll like golfing once and ATVing once. If you're only on a 3-day trip, I think those are each a must.
Really?
Like, it was so cool. Like, you're going through the middle of literally the desert. You're going through these little like kind of canyon patches. You got like cacti everywhere. Then you hit like an open area. You're like ripping it. And these ATVs go 50 miles an hour. So at one point, like, we're ripping it. So one of the waivers you have to sign, if you flip it, even if there's no damage, if you flip the ATV, it's $1,000. That's like,
is there a guide with you?
Yeah, there's a guide taking us with us, and they teach you. They go slow, so everyone gets the hang of it, and we're all pretty good. So towards the end, I'm near the back, right, and I know there's one dude behind me, the slow guy, and then there's the back guy. There's one at the front, one at the back. Make sure you don't get lost because there's like different paths you can take. So we're driving. Don't I see the guy in front of me just hit a bump? Boom. Falls off. Thing tips on its side.
No.
So I pull up, hit the brakes. I was like, yo, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. Okay, let's get the ATV up. Let's get it quick. Look behind me. And I know the slow guy's behind me. So he's like, the slow guy's, I know way back. So I'm like, yo, we got like 5 seconds. So we
Is he slow because he's scared or his ATV's not that good?
No, he's scared.
Okay.
At some points we hit a rock and like, your body just lifts.
Yeah.
Like my asshole puckered up a couple times. Big
You
time.
know, ATVs are very easy to flip. Like they're very unstable.
Yeah.
vehicles.
Well, yeah. We know.
They're also very dangerous.
They are very dangerous. But like they gave us course. They taught us not taught us, but
10-minute crash course on a not flip it.
Yeah. So we literally asked guys like, how many people flip a day? He goes, it's usually about one a day, and we're near the end. We're like, oh, so we're all right. None of us have flipped yet. So anyway, so I see this guy flip. I'm like, let's grab it. Let's get it upright. We literally grab it, get it upright, and then the back guy turns the corner, and he's like, and we see him like maybe 300 meters down, and I'm like, start. He's like, it's stalling. It was like hitting the gas, like trying to get it right. Finally gets it going. As soon as the guy pulls up, he's like, you guys good? He's like, yeah, man, he fell off the thing. He's like, did the ATV flip? I'm like, no, it didn't flip. So we're all like hyped up. I'm like, yo, where's Alam? Like the guy at the back. He's like, oh no, there's no one in front of me. You're in front of me. It's like, no, bro, there's another dude back there. He's like, nah, all right, fuck it. You're the guide, you know. So we drive up to the next like rest point, and we start counting. I'm like, bro, he's not here. We lost him. She's like, actually, I was like, yeah. So we're looking around. We're like, he's got to be here somewhere. Like all roads eventually led to this one main road. So we're just kind of standing there waiting, and like I'm trying not to laugh because the dude in front of me just flipped this thing, and we know he flipped it. The other guy's like, "Hey, did that flip?" Like, cause there's a massive gouge on his arm. Like his arm's got like
rocks.
No, it's not rocks, but it's like dirty. Picture like rug burn, but like 6 inches long, like 3-4 inches wide, where it's just red. We're all like gold and brown and like dusty, dirty from sand. And he's just got this massive red mark on his arm. It's so like, picture bigger than your tattoo on your arm there. Like noticeably bigger than that tattoo. So we're all dying. We're all laughing about him, but like kind of like, where the fuck's Alam? Because like the guy's lost. So he strolls around the corner. We finally get him back. I don't know where he went, but so we did the ATV thing. Honestly, sick, amazing. Like one of the cooler experiences we did. Then they watched the Leaf game. Obviously, they won, so we're fired up. So then from then most guys didn't make it out that night. So just me and 2 other guys went out, bottle blonde again, just because it's like the spot to be apparently. Had a really fun night that night. And then Sunday, Maya day party.
Was it good?
What happened on Friday?
We'll tell that after. Well, yeah. But again, no, met the girl again.
Oh, wait. What?
Yeah.
That's what, man. Do you know what serendipity is?
Yes, I know what serendipity is.
This was serendipity. Well, no, a lot of people don't know.
This is the same thing to me.
A lot of people know the word serendipity, but not a lot of people. They're like, oh, it's luck. It's like, well,
It's
no.
like happenstance.
Pardon?
It's like happenstance.
Yeah, exactly. It's unexpected good fortune.
Did you Google that after this happened?
I was, because someone's like, that's not what it means. I was like, serendipity. It's like when something really good happens to you that's like unexpected. They're like, no. I'm like, he's like, it means good luck. I'm like, no, it doesn't mean good luck. So and one of the examples
Things seem to go your way.
So the example on Google is good luck, or luck can be good or bad, but good luck is buying a lottery ticket, winning the lottery. Serendipity is finding a lottery ticket on the floor and winning the lottery.
Yes, yeah, that's
right.
Good.
That's the best example I found on Google. Anyways, so
this is probably a heated debate, Rick, with someone
no,
else.
No, it's just like I can't even remember who it was. I was telling, it's honestly like a random person, but yeah, that was the example I used, and they were like, no, it's just good luck. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever, it's good luck, fine. So then we did Maya. It's I don't know if it's better than W. We got lucky. We had a really good spot. We booked like a month in advance through some random bottle service go online, and we get there like, yeah, you're inside in the corner. I was like, we're at a pool party. We're not going inside. So we have to spend more money. And anyways, but tying back to the points thing, my Amex Cobalt is 5 times the points food and beverage. Our bill was $7,000 American, which would have been 9,000 Canadian. 5 times the points would have been 45,000 points, which is flight to Europe.
Ka-ching.
But unfortunately, they didn't take Amex.
Big L.
But yeah, big L. Anyways,
Maya, like how does it? Because I remember we went to the W and we went to the W pool party when we were down there. I don't remember it was like not busy.
So yeah.
So I was gonna ask you like Maya looked busier, and then tell us how it was, but then compare it like to Vegas.
So Maya was slammed. So W is more like, honestly, more like Encore, where like the pool's like the main function there. You know, like everything's built around the pool. Maya, there's the front patio, the main indoor like area. There's an actual indoor area, and then there's like a small pool where it's like the pool's not like the main function. There's still so much happening around it. They're both good. I don't know which one I'd like better. Maya was slammed, so obviously that was like sick. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I'm trying to explain it to something that we can relate it to in like Vegas, but it's tough. Like
it's not like a Vegas pool party.
It's just, it was different because like there was the pool area and that was busy, but it wasn't massive.
Have you been to Marquee Day Club?
No.
So Marquee's on the rooftop. It's not as big as like Encore Beach, let's say. I mean, maybe it is, but it doesn't look big. It's like it looks like a rectangular picture. If this room was a pool, like it's like the middle's a rectangular pool, DJ booth, and there's like cabanas on the side, cabanas, a bar. Like it's not big.
Yeah, I'm
like?
trying to think. This was you walk in. There's like a little patio area. Then you walk in. There's a bar, an outdoor bar. People kind of got drinks, and there's a couple booths around there. Then to the side, there's the indoor part where there's a bar and like booths in there. Then you walk towards the pool. There's bars. There's a bunch of DJ booths overlooking the pool. That's where we were. We got lucky with that. And then there's the actual pool area. There's like, I don't know, probably 20 booths around the pool. They're all kind of small, and then people can actually chill in the pool too. And then there's one booth right inside in the middle of the pool. That was pretty hype. We think it was probably like a 20 grand minimum or something. I don't know, at least 25 grand minimum.
Just a bunch of dudes in there or what?
And then obviously the chicks obviously all go there after because it's like the main freaking booth. Actually, funny story. So one of my buddies was like, we were joking because there's only like a handful of us single guys on the trip. Actually, not even a handful. There's maybe like 3. So I go to one of the single guys. I'm like, yo, you got to talk to a girl today. Like, make sure you talk to at least one girl. Like, jokingly, right? Because some guys didn't talk to any girls. So that day, I just, you know, when you're drinking, I'm just chilling. I didn't really care to talk to any girls. So I wasn't. So I keep beaking this guy. I'm like, you got to talk to a girl, talk to a girl. So eventually he talks to a girl, gets a girl to come to the booth, whatever. And we had girls on our table. Fast forward towards the end of the day, like, I literally don't think I talked to a single girl on the Saturday. So he looks at me, he's like, Rick, you got to talk to at least one girl. I was like, hey, pick one out. I'll go talk to her. So he picks one up in the booth, in the main booth.
No.
Fuck it. I'm drunk. Whatever. Let me go talk to her. I walk to the main booth. But to get to the main booth, you have to cross the bridge that goes through the pool. Right? There's like a little bridge. So I go through I go through the bridge. The bouncer grabs me like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to the girl. He's like, are you part of the booth? I was like, yeah, man. He's like, whose booth? I'm like, Mark. He's like, what? There's no Mark. I was like, whose booth? I'm like, that guy right there. It's his booth. His name's Mark. He literally looks at the guy. He's like, yo, is this guy with you? He's like, nah, I don't know who the fuck that is. Guy looks, he's like, get lost. I'm like, all right.
Hey, you got honestly. There's still a chance that works. Like,
it didn't work, but then whatever. Then he points to another girl. Go talk to that girl. I literally walk up to her. I was like, hey, what's up? She's like, I have a boyfriend. I was like, I literally didn't even say anything yet. She's like, yeah, I don't have a boyfriend, so piss off. I was like, all right,
she
cool.
didn't have a boyfriend? Or
she said she had a boyfriend. She's like, I have a boyfriend, so piss off. I was like,
she didn't have a boyfriend.
I didn't even do anything yet.
Damn.
But yeah, that was.
What happened with that girl? Wait, let's. What do we have for time?
We got about 10 minutes probably, because I mean you need to leave too. We got
51
dinner.
Oh,
yeah,
we're
okay,
good.
we got 10 minutes.
Okay,
so
there was something else I wanted to like. Anyways,
I'll tell the
how is? Do you like Scottsdale better than Vegas?
Yes and no. I feel like Vegas is more of a show and a party and lights and excitement and that, where Scottsdale has the golf and the ATV and you get a little bit of both. I really love Scottsdale though. Like being there just reminded me how much fun John's bachelor party was, how much fun Sweeney's bachelor party was, and I'm gonna make a conscious effort to try and do Scottsdale once a year. And next year it already lines up because I'm going to Vegas in March, most like 99% for Con Expo. So I'll probably do exactly what we did for John's bachelor party. I'll try and double down on that. So I'll do Friday, Saturday, Sunday Scottsdale, and then maybe the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday Vegas, and maybe even extend.
The shows in the week.
Yeah, shows Monday to Friday or Tuesday to Sunday, Tuesday to Saturday, I think.
Hey, I'll come down, mix some work trip.
Yeah,
you're a client after all.
Yeah, we're a big client of Impact. Oh, big contract.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm trying to think back of what I even said about the fight in Vegas. I don't even remember what the hell I was saying at the beginning of this podcast. I was like in my own world. I honestly love Vegas. This is, like I said, I've been a lot now, and I was at a point where like I was getting really over it. I was like, I can't come back here. It's exhausting. You leave broke and miserable, whatever. Then I started going for fight weekends, and I was like, these are the funnest things ever because you're going for a weekend, you're in and out, and you're going for a purpose, see a fight, not going to party. So you want to prepare, have a nice dinner before the fight. You go to the fight, you leave, you go to the bars, the casino. It's a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Doing those weekends, I think, is amazing. Like Vegas for like a Thursday night to a Sunday, or like leave Sunday day, or to the Red Eye. But like 3 days now is all you need. But
you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Going this time, I had the most fun. First time I'm going down with my girlfriend, obviously. So like going down as a couple, I've never done that. It's always been boys trips.
Yeah.
It was really fun. We spent like the days like walking the strip. And I don't know what it is. Like it's funny. Like Becca made a point, and like I never thought about this, but this is her first time going, and she said, this is like the trashiest place I've ever seen, but also like the most like flashy, luxurious place I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because we walked the strip, and I don't remember it much. Like I don't notice, but it felt like there was a lot more like homeless, like I don't know what the word of like street people. I don't know what the right word I'm looking for, but some sketchy people on the street in the daytime. Like I saw some like, weirdos. But we did like In-N-Out. We walked around. We did all the casinos. We literally walked one day all one side, the next morning all the other side. Popped into all the casinos, like just sat at bars watching people, whatever. And I want even the weather now. Like, the weather was perfect this time of year. Anyways,
I want to do Vegas once a year. I want to do Scottsdale once a year. I want to do either New York or Chicago, one of those, like a close by trip once a year. A boys like sports weekend trip twice a year, and then like my one big trip of the year.
Christ.
I was literally planning. I'm like, okay, can I do all these things? So maybe a ski trip once a year.
That's the other thing, though, is like that. Not to segue back to it, but like again, with points and everything, you can do all that stuff. And if you're earning, we talked about airline points. With hotel points too, you can get cheap hotels and whatever. But I want to go down. I want to go back to Vegas. I think in the fall because I do want to see a football game there. I was looking at the schedule that got released, but nothing that stands out. But I want to do a football game there. I don't know how the tailgating would be. Like I wonder.
I checked Red Rocks. Colorado. Denver doesn't play the same weekend as Rufus at Red Rocks.
Really?
No, they don't.
That's a big L.
Big L.
But man, I love Vegas, and after we went on there for work too, like I saw it, and this is something I want to ask you as well. After being down there, I never like when I say I would maybe move to the States. Florida's always the first one that it piques my interest. Probably the only one that piqued my interest for a while because I just love Florida. But after going this time to Vegas, and like I've also kind of just been there so many times, seeing it change a little bit, but not like the Vegas Strip, saying like around Nevada and everything. I honestly, not for a long time, and I don't even know if I could do it all year, but I think I could live in Nevada for a little bit. Not in the summers, but fortunately, like if I was there for work and we did something out there, come back here and do things in the summer here, go to Europe, whatever it is. But I don't know, something about it, like something about Nevada is starting to appeal to me more and more.
Scottsdale.
And I really, and it's close to Scottsdale. You can drive in 2 hours. Actually,
3 hours.
I gambled next to a guy playing blackjack. He's from Phoenix. Just a nice guy. We're talking. He's like, yeah, come down once a couple times a year, drive down. Like, that's 3 hour drive is like here to London. Same, like we do that for university.
It's here to Kingston.
Yeah. So I don't know, and like that desert atmosphere. So even Arizona is probably similar. I could probably live out there, but
because man, it hits 35, 38 degrees, but it's not like you're not sweating balls instantly.
Yeah.
In Florida, when it hits 33, 35, you're disgusting. You're like like, even in Toronto, when it hits 30, you're gross.
Dude, it was 27 today.
I was sweating like my back,
I hate that.
everything.
Yeah.
Like there was one day it was 31, and I'm like, I feel okay. I feel fine.
What are you looking at?
So I heard a noise. I was like, what is it? A helicopter or something?
Wait. Oh my gosh, someone's walking. I thought there was a helicopter. Yeah.
We should start to wrap up.
Yeah.
Nice little chicken wing dinner tonight.
But before we get your story to end on the how you fell in love, would you live in the States now after the last little bit going back and forth?
So remember, I always said Toronto was gonna be home forever for me, and then during the last like year and a half, like I started to think, I maybe not Scottsdale or Vegas, but I do think Florida I could see being a home, and if not a home, it's like kind of what my dad and my uncle do, where it's like 2 to 3 months of the year they spend down there, maybe even try and do 4. I do love the States. Like people can say what they want, but you're just warmer climate. I'm just happier in warmer climates. Like the cold just makes me miserable, and I just like the idea of like kind of, I don't want to say like kind of free spirited America, but like I just feel like there's a lot more opportunity in the States.
They say the land of opportunity.
Yeah, right. So again, maybe that's just we're still young, and who knows where kind of life takes us. But I would love to live somewhere in the South.
Yeah.
Like Florida. Scottsdale too, yeah. Like if I won the lottery tomorrow and I had enough to retire, I would 100% move.
Well, yeah, but in that regard, I think anybody, because you'd have nothing really to keep you.
Well, a lot of people know, because we asked a lot of people don't want to move because of family, right?
But see, listen, like this is not indictment against my family. Love my family. But at the same time,
they can come visit.
But that's a thing. But even in general, and I've thought a lot about this, and I've said this for a long time. When I ask people, did we talk about this in the pod? I think we did. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but when I ask people like what makes like Toronto great, like what is Toronto's thing, what is Toronto known for, what makes it an appealing city, what makes it
Tower and Drake.
Like there's really not a whole lot people say except Canada's free healthcare. Okay,
well, that's the last thing I'd think about. The only thing,
but I think a lot
would be family.
Right, but listen, family is important too. But if I ask why it makes Toronto a great city to live in, I love it. It is a great metropolitan city, and it is probably the city with the most, let's say, opportunity in Canada. But like what keeps you here, it is really family. And don't get me wrong, like again, I want to see my family as much as possible. But that being said, quality of life is important. So when you actually weigh all the boxes, listen, if you value family, not above everything, because everyone should, like, I mean, I value family above everything. But what I'm saying is when you balance what brings you joy and fulfillment, like check all the boxes, and you do whatever, what's SWOT analysis, whatever you want to call it, like quality of life, like being in the cold, like it does really bring down your quality of life, unless you truly love it. But I think in general, but the thing too, I was trying to wrap my head around, and like Becca said this the other day, she goes, it is literally 2 seasons in Canada. It goes from winter to summer. Like it was like freezing
or
2
morning
weeks ago.
to evening.
Yeah, like it was freezing 2 weeks ago, and today's 27 degrees. I don't really understand it. Anyways, not the point. The point is, I asked you if you would live in the States, and
Yeah.
I honestly really like weighing it a lot. Not
Well,
a
even
lot.
so,
but
you know, it's one thing to a lot of people now that are working from home. One of Dave Perlo's buddies, this guy Johnny, he's a product manager actually for a tech company. Can't remember which
cool.
one, but he refuses to work for a company that's in office now because he wants to work remote so he can live somewhere warm.
That's
So
also a different mentality.
wait, so he lives in Mexico now and lives and works in Mexico.
I get that, and I think it's great, but I also think that our generation of people have kind of, and if it wasn't for COVID, this would never be a thing.
But again,
I think
COVID
it's
happened,
great
so we're
that
here now.
people have that opportunity to work from home, but it's also, I'm trying to think of the word, like, they've kind of backtracked in a way that I can't even think of the word right now.
what do you
but
like,
it's
explain
just-
it? Like dumb it down. What do you try to say? Like people.
It's just destroyed, like, growth and learning. You're not learning from your company and through the people, your coworkers, by working away. And by Zoom calls.
You mean like
And
learning
just, like,
the
company
job
culture.
experience or culture type?
All of it.
Yeah.
Job experience, company culture, anything that has to do with it. You're not hands
No,
on.
no offense. Honestly, fuck company culture. If I'm living somewhere warm,
Then go work in the States.
If I had a remote job,
Like, no,
if I was in
that's, like,
sales,
it's just like so important. Like, I get amazing when companies right now, like my cousin works for Snapchat. They're like, you can take 2 months out of the year, go work remotely. You're coming in
Done.
the office when you want.
Done.
They all love each
I'm
other.
in
So
Florida.
they like,
I'm in Florida instantly.
oh, she might go to Spain. Anywhere where Snapchat is available. She
The
can go
world
live for 2
minus
months.
Russia.
But then they want
pretty
you back
much.
here.
China.
But see, okay, so this is the thing. Like, as somebody who like, I mean, we built a startup, but even moreover than that, like we have our businesses that we run. And before doing all of those things, if someone said, "Would you let a company be remote, or would you want to work remote?" Like, I didn't really like think that was an option. Just couldn't wrap my head around it. And I don't think many companies, like the majority, had that. Right? Most people were in the office. When I first started, didn't love I did like it, but I didn't love it because I'm like, oh, this is gonna take away from our culture and our working together and the fleeting thoughts you have at the water cooler, metaphorically speaking. But then it started going, and I started getting more work done. I was like, oh, I like this. Then it started getting farther, and I was like, oh, I hate all these calls. It's too easy to jump on calls. It's kind of annoying. It's a distraction now. But when I actually look at it, like now that our office has been back for a while, we've pretty much essential, so we've been in it from the get-go. But
same here.
But now I see people in and out, like they're less frequent, less like everyone in the office. Part of me misses having everyone in there and just getting to know everyone better. But also, if people are getting their job done, and I'm of this belief, and I always have been, if you're getting your job done, I don't care when you do it or how you do it.
Yeah.
And I think like my old man's been the same way. Like, just get your job done in your time. And we're in a job that we cleaning that happens all hours of the day in all cities and different buildings and so forth. So if a manager wants to go at night to manage people rather than the day, so be it. If their job is done, that's great. It's really hard because I think corporate culture is important. Like it's also, I think it's objectively important.
Well,
like companies like
that's what I'm
Salesforce.
saying, like, I think like the hybrid model.
But sorry, so I think let me finish this point. I'll touch on that. So I think like companies like Salesforce that are like known for the like raw culture, Salesforce, they were remote for so long. They could be because they're a tech company. But Mark Benioff, their CEO, went and bought like a ranch down in like a massive property in southern San Francisco, I think, to start doing more company retreats. I believe that's why he did it. Because again, culture is important. Like you can still hire people to get a job done. Like hire someone to get function done is easy, but like to really be a company that, let's say you want to change the world or even disrupt your industry or just have fun doing what you do. Your culture is important. It makes working, I don't even want to say fun because it's not fun for everyone top to bottom if you're not a stakeholder and so forth, but it makes it less shit.
Let me ask you this: would you rather work somewhere like Toronto where it's cold 6 months of the year, but have good corporate culture, or would you rather work at a place where you're in Florida working from your pool every day, but you have like next to no corporate culture.
But you wouldn't be also, depending on the industry. I think it's industry
No, but
dependent.
just in general.
Because, like,
just
certain
in general.
things you can never work at your pool.
What? No, but
what?
hold on.
Like,
But the thing is,
let's say
personally,
you're in
my
sales.
job right now, I have like the best hybrid model. I used to work in office 5 days. Now I'm 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. I need 2 screens to work. I can't work at a pool.
Yeah, but you can still
I
get
can
2
still work.
screens.
I can still work remotely.
You can
I
have 2
work
screens
remotely
by
right
the
now.
pool. Whoa.
Yeah.
You can have 2 screens by the pool.
Let's say you didn't have to commute. So let's go back. Let's understand.
We
this.
also are running out of time though because we got dinner.
Yeah. We're good. But let's say your job, right? You need 2 screens. I don't run the numbers, so I'm not going to say this is an assumption. But you live here, you pay if you're in the upper tax bracket.
$1,500.
How much?
Oh,
no,
sorry,
how much do you pay in
right.
taxable? Let's say if you're in the upper tax bracket, 50%, whatever it is,
Yeah.
approximately. Florida is like 6%. So just alone, the money you would save living there.
No,
So what I'm saying is, you could buy yourself the best fucking screens next to the best fucking pool, and you'd be all right.
No, I think it's great, but I also think it's like people right now are feeling entitled, which many companies aren't able to hire people because they're entitled in the sense, I want to work remotely 100% of the time.
But
And it's
that's
certain
not.
industries.
But that's not as a result. That's a result of companies.
That's a result of COVID happening and people getting used to working
Hold
from
on.
home.
Yes and no. It's a result of COVID pushing it to that way, but it's also a result of a workforce that has been like pampered, overinflated. Companies have overhired. If you listen to any pundit of Silicon Valley, most say, and actually came out today, most say that even the best big tech companies could probably cut half their staff and operate better, and the shit tech companies could cut 4 times or 40% of their 40% of their staff. No, what am I trying to say? 4x their staff, whatever. I don't know what the multiple is, and they would do just fine and operate better. So what I'm saying is, like, a lot of companies, when times aren't tough, money's flowing cheap, all that stuff, it's easy to have money and capital to burn and hire people and put people in that have cushy jobs and are doing certain things. But now it's wartime. So what I'm saying is, people don't want to come back. That's sure. We lived through a nice boom period for the last few years. Our generation hasn't really experienced the effects of a recession. That's fine. The good people who are good at their job have the luxury of saying that, and they will land on their feet somewhere else. But there is a chance something could happen to the economy. It takes a downturn, and all those people that are saying, "Well, I won't go back to work," are not going to have an option. They're going to be told, "You're going to work where I tell you, or you're not going to work at all."
Yeah.
And the tune will change. So yes, COVID has given people the luxury and the entitlement to do certain things.
Well, it's like I know in Toronto alone, like I'm not talking anywhere else in the world. Toronto alone right now, big corporate companies had to lay off a lot of people during the pandemic. A lot of these corporate companies are going back to a hybrid model, or you have to work in office a couple days a week or full time in office.
Yeah.
They're having a hard time finding employees that are willing to even come in the office, not because they're scared of COVID, but because they want to work from home. That's like a sense of entitlement that a lot of people, our generation, I'm saying our generation alone, have kind of gained that sense of entitlement that they don't want to work at the office anymore.
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. It's
And it's kinda like,
because it's market conditions.
Yeah.
The market conditions have afforded people to have that mentality. Mm-hmm. And right now, there's a statistic. There's more jobs. There's 4 times more jobs. 4 times more people not working than jobs open. I don't know if I said that correctly, but basically, there's an abundant amount of jobs to fill. But there's even more people just not filling the roles. People don't want to pick jobs. It is an employee's market right now. That is undeniable. Like, people can get any job they want. Mm-hmm. Companies cannot fill roles from frontline staff to executive levels, and people are jumping ship left, right, and center. But maybe that's a result of COVID. Maybe it's a sense of entitlement, but also because we've lived through some good years. People have savings. People have earned equity in their homes. People have done certain things. I'm not an economist. I don't know this stuff. I'm making assumptions, but what I'm saying is, yes, like, maybe we stay in the hybrid model going forward. Maybe it's fully remote. Like Airbnb, Brian Chesky came out and said that he said Airbnb is going to be remote forever now, and he believes that the office is an old school device to like corral people. He goes, what is the point of an office? Like, why do you go into an office? Why do people ever go into an office? Like, you don't need an office. You go in to meet, whatever. So he took a different approach. I'm sure big real estate companies want everyone back in the office. And do I think it's going to stay this way forever? No. There'll be some companies that are smart and have adapted and want to be different and offer that 4-day work week or that hybrid model to attract the best talent. There's other companies that their industries will go back as a whole and say everyone's back in. And people that want to work in that industry won't have that luxury. I don't know. We'll see. I'm making predictions that I can't back up.
It's industry based.
But I don't even know how I got on this topic. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying at this point. But I think that, like, again, if people, as an employer, I don't like the fact that like, companies get like, a little bit held hostage right now. Like anybody can go anywhere. And that's on the other side of things, that is great because for the most part, like, employers do have a sense of control, and you can see a shift in the last couple of years where people are saying, hey, I know what I'm worth. I want to go somewhere else. That being said, wages have jumped like exponentially for some roles and not for others. Like executive pay has jumped through the roof, and like frontline workers, like staff that we employ, barely getting like 2% more a year. So things aren't relative. Things are in flux right now. Like you see it in the markets and everything. So who's to say where things go? But back to the point about what do we ask? How did we even get on this topic? Working remote or something?
Working remote. Would you live in Florida?
So
would you live in
personally speaking, I think, the topic of corporate culture and all that stuff. I think corporate culture is imperative. I think you have to fight to build a corporate culture because you want your people to believe as they're part of something bigger. If that's what your company's mission is. If your company is, making knickknacks in a factory and you don't need your people to be like, oh, great, we're going to change the world with knickknacks. Okay, maybe it's a different story. But if you want to do something great and something big, you really need people to buy in. Like how do teams win championships? Yeah, you can get good players, but if everyone is pulling in different directions, you're not going to fight for the same thing. And that is culture. And culture starts typically top down. And you need people interacting with each other, and you need people believing they're part of the bigger cause. And if they're not around, let's say the executives, and they're not around the leadership team, and they're just punching in, punching out, sure, they might do their job well, but are they really finding ways to really push the envelope and really stretch what they're capable of and what their company's capable of? I don't know.
I can name 4 friends right now that started a job during the pandemic and have never met their manager.
Right.
And they're literally waking up, working, finishing
Do they love their job?
It's a job.
But do they love their job?
Is that your career?
Okay, but I'm saying would they want it? Like, do they love it enough that they would stay there forever as of right now? Any of them?
I could not say any of them would say they'd stay there forever. Are they going to work there for the next 5 years? Probably, but it's all going to change.
Sure.
Who knows?
Yeah, listen,
it's like relative. Like
I'm making a lot of assumptions and I'm making a lot of guesses and things that like I've seen and heard, whatever. What do I know? My guess is as good as anybody else's. Like I thought that people were going to go back to the office like. Honestly, a year ago, I thought we were going to go back to the office because everyone's kind of saying, oh, going back. But mind you as well, we're still in a wave. Like, I mean, I'm personally not afraid of COVID. I had it recently, was okay. I had a little tickle in my throat. But I think people are still a little bit worried about it because like you see it going around and everyone's here and there. Airlines can't staff airplanes because of it. I don't know. Like companies might be saying the hybrid model because maybe they're getting more production. Maybe they're trying to play it safe. And also, I'd venture to guess that most companies in today's society don't want to be the first ones to say you have to come back to work.
Yeah. Into
the office 9 to 5. Because will everyone quit en masse and have a mass exodus? I doubt it. But I don't think they want to take that risk, and I don't think they want to be painted in a negative light. So everyone's towing that line, seeing where it's going to go. But everything's cyclical. History repeats itself. Not to say we've had pandemics like this in recent memory, but people have short-term memories. In a couple of years, if Apple says everyone's in the office, no ifs, ands, or buts, you don't want to be in the office, go work somewhere else, I'd venture to guess most people would want to stay working that have good, cushy jobs and so forth. That's my 2 cents.
I kind of want to go for chicken wings now.
But you didn't tell your story about. I really don't remember how we got on this.
We started talking about would you want to live in the States?
Yeah, right.
States. And for me, my answer is yes now. I definitely want to live in the States.
I definitely do. I think I just convinced myself more. Yeah. I like hybrid work. It's fun.
I think hybrid's the best.
It is. It is really, really good.
Okay, guys, we're trying to wrap up this episode. Before we repeat ourselves the third time. I want to go.
We'll get there in 10 minutes.
No, it's like 15 minutes away.
We'll get there in 15 minutes.
Well, people are already there.
You want to tell your story?
No, we'll tell it for another day. No, I'm not even in the mood. I just want to go and eat now.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys, you made it to the end of this.
That last like 5 minutes was me and Danielle talking about working and all this stuff.
We appreciate you. Give us a follow. Give us a like, share this with your friends. And if you need more travel tips, if you want to learn how to kind of do the credit card things, let us know. Hit us up, and we'll help you out. Other than that, peace.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain, and I don't remember.